Hello, I'm Jewel, and recently I went from corporate America to a full-time traveler, and I have had the time of my life. But prior to becoming a full-time traveler, I've been taking solo vacations, solo trips for over 11 years now. I have a few tips on things that you should do as you start planning your trip. The first thing is you want to research. Do your research. I cannot stress that anymore than now. Like, zoom in. You need to research where you're going. You can do a Google search. You can start right here on YouTube. Go to YouTube University. Search destination. Look on TikTok. Look on those other social media sites. And you just search hashtags and follow that. Also, reach out to people you may know that have went to those destinations. Read books. Sometimes when I'm going places, I'm getting books on it. I am just beyond fascinated. Pinterest is a good resource for figuring out your travel destination and just like research it to a T. You want to research where you're staying, the neighborhoods, what to do. You want to research it. Like, it is a research project because you want to make sure that you know what you're getting into when you're planning a trip, and you want to make sure that you don't miss something. Like, if you don't do the research, it could be like this main event and you miss it because like you didn't do the research. My next tip, plan around an event happening in that location. That's a good way so you know you have something to do. A perfect example is that right now I am in Brazil. So we have Carnival coming up. And so I knew that whenever I made it to Brazil, I wanted to experience Carnival because I've heard so many people talk about Carnival. So I strategically planned my trip around there. And so there are tons of events that is leading up to Carnival. And so that will give me something to do. When you do solo travel, it's important to have things planned so that you don't get lonely if you are a lonely person. A few years ago when Beyonce was on her world tour, I planned a couple of vacations around Beyonce's concert so that I can experience the concert in other parts of the world. So plan it around like a concert or a festival. So if you center it around an event, that gives you something to do. Plan around like an interest. Like if you are interested in hiking, go somewhere where there an influx of hikes or where hiking is so popular, like where that is the thing to do. You like waterfalls, go somewhere where you can chase waterfalls. If you like to eat different food, go somewhere where you can truly experience authentic food. A lot of places will have like food tours and things like that. So plan it around the food. Whatever your interest is, plan it around. If you're into national parks, when I was trying to knock out different states, when I was trying to knock out visiting all 50 states in the US, what I did was I was like, listen, if I couldn't find something that was like totally to my interest, I'm like, let's just go to a national park. And so in some states, that was the thing, like, okay, I'll just go to this national park. But if parks aren't your thing, whatever it is, find something that is of interest to you. If you're a culture person, pick a lot of culture activities. If you're like, right now, I'm always into the culture. Like, I want to know like what's happening. I love, love, love African culture, like Afro culture. So here in Brazil, I'm like, where am I Afro-Brazilian? What's going on there? How can I emerge there? So that is another option. Be open to going with the flow. So you don't have a jam-packed schedule. Say, for instance, if you meet someone and they say, hey, are you available tonight to meet up for lunch or for dinner or do whatever? You could be like, yeah, because I had an open schedule. Or if they say, hey, we're going to go do this cool activity that you hadn't even heard of, you have room to do that. So just be flexible and nimble. And don't jam-pack your schedule. Just kind of make it where you have the opportunity to really sit in the moment and to enjoy. Always look into excursions and tours. So I always like to start, I love a good walking tour. Like, let me find out about this neighborhood. Let me find out about the culture. And that gives you an opportunity to meet other travelers. I always meet some more travelers who I end up connecting with, and we hang out for, parts of the trip or duration of the trip. Gives you the opportunity to be connected with a local. And so you can ask them questions particularly like safety questions or just different things like that. They can just give you a little flavor and juice that you might not be able to get somewhere else. That's all I have for right now for when you are planning your solo trip, but I hope you plan it soon. I hope that you do not let fear, anxiety, or other people's perception or their fears stop you from going on your solo trip. So if you have any questions, any solo questions, please get in my comments. Let me know what you want to know. I'm here to serve you. And I hope that you make me your new travel bestie. But the only way we can get into that type of committed relationship is for you to subscribe. And while you're at it, while you hit that subscribe button, and also like. I'm looking forward to hearing about your travels, and I'm looking forward to sharing more with you. Until we meet again, happy travels.